Another episode of Cut the Bullshit. This is our third episode on YouTube. This has been going great. I love the feedback and everything you guys are talking about. And this next discussion is going to be fun. We're going to be talking about what it means to be a boss bitch and then the difference between a bad bitch. Because clearly people are getting confused today. So the definition of, I think boss bitch has been messed up. The definition of bad bitch hasn't been messed up at all. It hasn't been, it's not really watered down or anything. It means the same thing. Basically a bad bitch is just pretty, like they just have the looks, they have the image for themselves. They have the bouginess, they have the standard for themselves. But I think, like, in my opinion, just a regular, just only like a bad bitch, they don't really have like the personality. And they don't really have like the desire, they don't have the drive, they don't have the ambition, they don't have the motivation. That's just a bad bitch. You just sit there, you look bad, and that's all you do. You don't really offer anything else to the table, which is fine. If you're fine with being pretty, you get everything paid for, you live your beautiful life. No one's talking about that. But it's just whenever people will compare a bad bitch to a boss bitch, and it's like, or they'll call a boss bitch a bad bitch. They're like, wow, she's bad. Like, no, she's boss. There's a whole other difference, because a woman can be pretty, she can have the sex appeal, she can have the body, and everything like that. But, like, once you get to know them, they're very kind of like bland personality. Like, there's so many like women, especially being like in the industry that I'm in, the events that I go to, like being in the car community too, like I've looked up to women just because they're women, but you can't always put like everybody on a pedestal. That goes for men or women, you can't just automatically be like, oh, because they sit in this certain, they have a certain characteristic or they sit in a certain criteria, I need to put them on a pedestal and make them feel important. No, that's not always the case, So when it comes to like a bad bitch, people make her feel like a boss bitch whenever, they don't have anything other than just their sex appeal. You get into a relationship with them, or, you even become like a friend with them. Like I said, like I met multiple girls where I'm like, wow, I feel like they would they're really pretty. I feel like they would have a really good personality. And I meet them, there's very, very like bland. They don't want to do anything, but maybe just like drink and that's it, drink and shake ass in their living room and like, that's it. They don't have any like real ambitions. It's kind of like in the industry. Oh my gosh, this is a great reference actually. This is a great example. Being in the dancing industry, entertainment industry, there is different type of women in here. There's women who come into this and they're here to just like, make money for a reason. Whether they want to pay off student loans, whether they want to invest the money, whether they want to use it for retirement, So I know a lot of girls who, they dance at night and by day they're a nurse, or a dental assistant, or they do lashes, they do nails, anything like that, So there's women who come in there like that and they'll make all of this money, but they also have like a really good personality. They know how to network in the club. So they're not just sitting there like, are you going to spend money on me and that's it? Are you gonna spend money on me? No, but they listen to game, But men be talking all the time in the club and they try and put women on game. Like I have talked to real estate agents. I have talked to, I've talked to men who have been in tax brackets so high, it's like, wow, like you're living life, I've talked to like CEOs of businesses, I've talked to owners of businesses and everything. They put me on game just listening to the ideas that they have because they just want to vent. They just want to sit there and vent and have some pretty girls sit there and listen to them. And if you're smart, you're going to run with that. You have to, But there's other girls that are like, are you going to hand me $1,000 right now or what? They don't want the future revenue. They don't want the future profits. They don't want to know about the investments. Who cares? Blah, 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 blah. Goes out one ear. A boss will sit there and listen, I like to go into the club and I love to seek out like who can also feed my brain, and it's hard to find that. And most men are, the sex appeal. But it's like if they for a second kind of look away for that, and it's very like I find one maybe like once a month. Once a month I'll find a customer that actually sits down with me and will spit game to me and realize that I'm worth spitting the game too. And a bad bitch won't run with that, but a boss bitch will because she wants to be a boss. She wants to go somewhere else in life. You can't be bad your whole life. You can have the lips done, you can have your boobs done, you can have get the BBL, get whatever you want, flat tummy, mommy makeover and all this stuff. But if you don't have a good personality to come with it, you're just a walking body and a pretty face. What is that going to offer anybody? You don't cook, you don't clean, and you don't do any of that. And that's not to say you need to do that for anyone or any man, but you literally offer nothing else than just a sex appeal and a pretty face. So the difference between, if anyone is really confused, bad bitch is just a pretty face. They don't have much deeper than that. You have a conversation with them. They don't have much of a personality. They don't really have much ambitions. You know, you talk about like, what do you want to do in life? Yeah, I'm just going with the flow. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. You know, they have like men who pay for them, their boyfriends, whatever, thrown away, going through boyfriends like it's nothing. And they have a boss bitch who can do it on their own. You know, they're beautiful inside and out. They have a good personality, they're kind-hearted, they're considerate. You know, that's what I think a boss bitch is, because to be like a true boss, everyone wants to be a boss, but it's like going into any work environment, you know. Sometimes you think that the environment is good, you think that the situation's gonna be great, the job's gonna be great, and then you meet the boss and it's like, wow, you're someone who shouldn't be. You know, someone gave them an opportunity and it just was not the person to have an opportunity. That's why a lot of like any situations are very toxic. Like that includes work environments, because, and especially with females working under another female boss, there's automatically animosity, there's automatically judgment, there's automatically jealousy, you know, and it sucks that it has to be that way. But that's the difference. A boss bitch won't care about that. A boss bitch is gonna know her place. She's gonna know, like, hey, I sit on this pedestal. I know my worth. You know. I don't got no questions about my worth. I know where I belong. You know. And a bad bitch will feel like, well, I just need to be the prettiest girl in the room. If I'm not the prettiest girl in the room, then I'm gonna throw a fit. You know. Then I'm gonna act out. Then I'm gonna be jealous. Then I'm gonna talk shit. Then I'm gonna do this. That's not exactly what it is. So that's why I say is like, people will always call a boss bitch by accident a bad bitch. And some people give bad bitches too much credit, you know, where it's like they just have like a nice face and then people are like, oh my God, she's everything I've ever dreamed of and all of that stuff, you know, and then you talk to them and it's like, they don't really do anything, but you know, their reward for you. And you know, talking in relationships, there's such a difference between dating a bad bitch and a boss bitch. A boss bitch, you know, will bring a table to the table. You know, if you already have a table, your life's already set up and you're like, wow, like I really want to get into a relationship, you know, but I need someone who, you know, will understand me. I need someone who will feed into me. I need everything. That's a boss bitch, because she's going to see either an opportunity in you, an opportunity within herself, and want to see you grow. And that's comes with friends too. No one wants to be friends with a bunch of, I can have a boss bitch and she's still bad because she's a boss. Because she understands her worth, because she puts herself in a position to learn so much more, you know, and a boss bitch never puts anybody else down. That's what I believe, you know, like this is my own definition of it. But for the most important part, it's not easy to be a boss bitch, and that's why it's not meant for everybody. You know, it takes a certain mentality, it takes a certain type of strength. You know, you got to take whatever heat comes with it. You know, people aren't going to like the fact that you sit there and, you know your worth. No one likes a woman to know their worth. That's like women, I feel like as much as the times have changed, now in 2022, women are taking over. That's why I wanted to talk about this the most, because it's an amazing thing to see, but people are starting to get really, really confused of what a bad and a boss bitch is. And whenever I sit here and I look at like my group of friends, they may not be, you know, they may not walk into the room and everyone's like, wow, they're not the prettiest in the room. Nobody, you know, someone's always going to be prettier than the next. Someone's always going to be prettier. Someone's going to be better than you. Someone's always going to be like always going to have more money than you. You always got to remember that in any aspect of life. Someone's always going to have something more than you. But it just matters if you set yourself on a certain pedestal. You put yourself up on that high horse, you know. I had to just recently start learning, like to be like just a boss in general. I have to learn my boundaries, you know. I have to learn how people can address me, when they address me, you know, letting certain stuff slide, you know, people having an attitude with you, and everybody, you know, guys act like they love a girl with an attitude, you know, and a bad bitch, you know, she'll have an attitude and that she just thinks that attitude is good. A boss bitch will just turn her shoulder and be like, all right, whatever, it don't matter. That's exactly what that is. And to be a boss bitch, you're not reliant. You know, you don't really, like, if you're down bad, you can handle that stuff on your own. It's really rare to find these women, because like in the game of men, I don't really think I don't know what you would compare a boss, what's opposite of a boss bitch and a bad bitch compared to men. I mean, I don't know, like a P, I guess, or just like some little street thug, you know, like there's a difference. There's a man who will stand there in the face of a conflict and they feel like they need to fight, you know, and be aggressive. And then there's a man, you know, a boss, a player, you know, a big guy in the streets, whatever. And he's like, bro, that's a waste of my time. It's a waste of energy, you know. And it's not just all about money for anything when you want to be a boss. And that's what being bad is. That's what being just a pretty girl is. That's what, you know, just having the looks. You just care about the money. You don't care about, you know, experience. You don't care about relationships. You don't care about networking. You don't care about anything like that. Like I see, you know, there's just so many beautiful women and you just walk up to them, they're so dull. They're so, what do you want to do with like, I don't know, you know, they're like, and talking in the industry, I know women who are like 30 plus years old in the industry. It's time to get out the game, baby. Cut the bullshit, get out. Like, you're done. You're done. Your time has spent here. The younger women are coming in and they're fucking the game up. We're coming in here and we're showing people who are like 20 years older than us, we're showing them up. And why? Because we got that snobby mentality. I feel like this generation is becoming a lot more boss bitches than bad bitches, you know? If they're a bad bitch, someone put them on a pedestal. You know, someone made them, their ego got to them. They don't have the worth in themselves because they don't think that they can do more. A bad bitch is just someone who thinks that they're just pretty and that's all they have to offer and that's all that matters. No one cares. Who cares if I'm smart? Who cares if I know this, know that? Who cares? I'm pretty. I deserve that. You know, I'm pretty. I'm going to get that, you know? And in a sense, yeah, you can be pretty and have pretty girl privileges, but at the same time, it's not going to get you very far. And one day you're going to be 50. One day you're going to be 60. One day that boob job you got, yeah, that shit's not going to look the prettiest. You know, you're going to have to get it redone. And everything's going to get saggy. And then what? What do you have to offer? Well, you had no personality. You weren't very kind. You weren't considerate of anything. And you built your life off of what? You know? People often look at me and they're like, oh, wow, all she does is just sex work. Absolutely not, because that's not where I want to be in life. That's not what I think a boss bitch does, is relies on something that I know at a certain age that's not going to be an appeal anymore. I know at a certain age this is going to have to end, you know, and I know at a certain part of my life that's not what I'm going to want to represent anymore. That's just me personally. So I'm thinking outside of that, like, okay, so let's think long term. Let's think about my life, you know, let's think about where I'm going to be in 10 years, you know. A bad bitch is going to want to go and invest her money into, you know, just stuff for herself that's temporary. And that's true. Like, a lot of women know nothing. And that's not to say you're not a boss if you don't know about stocks or anything or investments or anything. That's not to say that. But it's like, I've actually talked to women and I've been like, hey, like, have you ever been into, no, I've never really, I don't really think that it matters. You know, like, even like a 401k, like, do you have a Roth IRA open? You know, they don't even know what that is. They're like, no. You know, and it's like, kind of got to have your stuff organized. You know, there's nothing, your value is the most important thing. Oh my gosh, to be a boss bitch, you can't lower your standards. There's a lot of women out here. We'll talk about more about the industry because that's basically what this is going to surround itself with. There's a lot of women out there, like even estheticians, you know, some estheticians get into this and they do lashes and they're really shitty at it. You know, they have like, I've talked to one of my lash techs. I had a really good friend who was a lash tech, and you know, she would tell me all the things that were like wrong about lash techs, and I started to see it. You know, they just want their money in there. They take their time to train, but they're not putting the actual work in to make it last long. They're not putting the work in and they're not putting it in to realize a worth about themselves. You know, if it's not money based, they don't want nothing to do with it. That's not what a boss bitch is. A boss bitch sees everything in it. They see the experience, they see the money, and they just see the ambition that they have in their self, you know, and what it's bringing for your life experiences. So back to what I was saying. In the industry, a lot of women want to be a boss bitch, but they don't value themselves like a boss bitch. You know, whether they value themselves really low, and some women obviously do extra stuff in this business, and they do that for a very cheaper price. That's not... And they are worth a lot more. You know, they're beautiful women, and they could be worth a lot more if they put themselves there. That's the thing about a boss bitch, is you have to know your worth 110%. No one's gonna let you question that. No morals. You know, someone can stand in your face. Let's say, like, you know, there's and it comes to like celebrities. Women, it comes to celebrities. Very easy for women to fold over a celebrity. Not even gonna, if we're gonna sit here and lie about it, it would be easy for a man too. You know, so I don't hurt any feelings. Let's keep it real. You know, if your celebrity walked in through the door, or even just someone who says like, I've got 100K plus on Instagram and I have about, you know, I don't know, 200,000 in my bank account. Women will be throwing their hoo-ha, you know, and men, you know, men too. Same, the celebrity walks into the room, you know, and she's, it doesn't even come down to that for men though. It really just comes down to the look. Oh, she's got a fat ass, smash. Oh, she's got nice boobs, smash. And sometimes women don't value themselves, and you know, they fuck with broke people or broke men, and that sucks. At least fuck with someone who has money and could buy you a plan B the next day, but you decide to fuck with someone who can't. That's sad. And now you gotta buy your own plan B. How was your breakfast, babe? Water and a plan B. It was great. You fucked with a bum. It wasn't that good, you know? So it's like, when it comes to men, it's 110% appearance, and they act like it's not. But that's past the point. A boss bitch is just gonna realize their worth. You know, you're gonna realize like you could really hustle somebody out of something, you know? And you're not gonna go up to one person, you know, let's say you walk up to somebody and you're like, oh, it's this much to work with me. and they say no, and you automatically start to lower your prices. You're like, one person said no, I can't do this. No, because the right person's gonna come along, and you're gonna have faith in yourself, and you're gonna have belief in yourself, and you're going to need nobody else to tell you that. You're gonna need nobody else. You know, someone walks up to you and be like, you're too pricey. Okay. And like, you don't have the money for it. It's just like in any business. Like, there's a lot of quotes that go out, at least on business pages that I look at, or like motivational things. It's always like, don't lower your price for your customers, you know? Continue to, you know, like, I think it was like Ferrari, Lamborghini or something. They said like, oh, we don't post like our advertisements on television because the people that can afford our stuff, they don't sit down and watch TV. They go out and get the money so that they can afford a Ferrari, Lamborghini, whatever, whichever one said that about their commercials and stuff. So it's like, you know, when you think about that, you think that started off easy? You think that they just like woke up one day and started making millions off their cars? No. You know, they had a high price and people were looking like, dang. And there's that one person that's like, you know what? I think it's worth it. They bought it, you know? And then it's like the next person saw that person with it and then they're like, yeah, I might buy it, you know, da-da-da-da. And it continues to go on. And that also offers with self-value. If you're lowering your standards and you're lowering your prices, how do you expect other people to put you on a nice, pretty pedestal? You know, how do you expect people to invest this time and money into you? I didn't introduce Loki, guys. He's sleeping right here. This is Loki. He's a little co-host. He's not awake. He fell asleep. He knows he's supposed to be awake right now, but he really doesn't care. But he knows what a boss bitch is. Huh, Loki? Yeah. He knows. But it's not easy being a boss bitch, you know. And I've myself put a lot of women on game, and they weren't the right women to put on game because they didn't have it in them, you know. It takes consistency. It takes understanding too. You got to go up against men if you want to be a boss bitch, you know. A bad bitch will just kind of, I don't know, not really, I wouldn't say submit to men, but, you know, they don't really like, they can't walk into a room and not fold, if that makes sense. You know, like, I can walk into a room of men and I'll never feel like I need to act a certain way. Pick me. They be pick me. A bad bitch is a pick me. Ta-da. A pick me. You know, walk into a room talking about, you know, putting other females down. Like, oh my God, she's so fat. I know. She just eats so much. I don't understand. You know, like this one time at summer camp, blah, blah, blah. That's a pick me bitch. We all know who I'm talking about. Okay. And you know someone that's a pick me bitch. And that's what a bad bitch does. You know, she walks into a room. She wants everyone to like her. A boss bitch is going to understand that you're intimidating, one, because you are a female and you are walking into a room of men, you know. A boss bitch can stand in front of a man and not fold at all. You know, they say one thing and they say like one sexist little joke, and that, you know, that's happened to me. And I had to learn to not walk away. I had to learn that it's going to take time for me to prove my point. It's going to take time to prove my worth. People are going to talk, and a bad bitch is going to sit there and entertain it. Oh, da-da-da was talking shit. Da-da-da, I'm about to get on her. Da-da-da, I'm going to whoop your ass. A boss bitch will be like, say what you want. But I know how deep my pockets are, and I know how deep my soul is. And I know that if you have a sit-down conversation with me, it's deeper than the sex appeal. A bad bitch, just, that's all she offers. Oh, this coochie's good. You know, my boobs are nice. My da-da-da's nice. They love to suck my toes. Okay, what more do you have to offer off that? Going back to like talking about being in a relationship. You don't want to be in a relationship with a bad bitch because all she's going to bring is some little casserole to the table. If you're with a bad bitch, she's going to bring a whole other table with the full course meal and dessert. You know, like, you want to fuck with someone like that. And you want people like that in your friend group too. You know, I see a bunch of boss bitches in a friend group, and it's amazing. You know, we got one who's an esthetician. Got one who's, you know, she's a RN now, you know. Someone who's studying to be a doctor. Someone who's trying to be a dentist or a dental assistant, you know. Like, and they're continuing to go on about their lives, and they're not making themselves any less worth. You know, they don't feel any type of way either. They don't feel like because they work a 9 to 5 they're better than someone, and they also don't feel like because they're an entertainer they feel like they're better than someone. They know their place. They know how much they put in work, and that's all it is. A bad bitch wants to be above everybody, you know, wants to be like, I'm the baddest, I'm the baddest, I'm the best in the room, you know, I'm so cool, da-da-da-da. Okay, so what do you have to offer? Nothing. And half the time, you know, it's so easy to be influenced. You can't be influenced, you know, by other people around you. You know, you may got a homegirl who be acting out and all this stuff, and you got a business going and stuff. You can't be up in there yada 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 yelling and stuff, fighting with them and stuff. You got a life to live. You know, you got business that you need to handle. You have something that you represent. And in all honesty, all a bad bitch wants is just to be represented as pretty. Who cares even if she knows that she's a hoe? Who cares if they even know that, you know, she does these other things, or that, you know, she lowers her. Who cares? I'm pretty. I'm pretty. I look nice in someone's passenger seat, you know? I look nice when I go and do this. But there's nothing much deeper than that. And then it comes to attitude too, you know. A boss bitch knows their ground, but they're also not just bougie and rude. That is like one thing that I have learned about pretty women, and I understand why pretty women are so intimidating, is because people look at them and they're like instantly like, she's mean, you know. I know that just from experience of myself. You know, a lot of people won't approach me, man or woman, because I'm intimidating, and it's just because I'm an attractive woman. I have a pretty face, I have curly hair, you know, I have the appeal of not only just the sex appeal but the mental appeal. That's fucking intimidating. And as a boss bitch, you gotta learn, not everyone's gonna like you. A bad bitch wants everyone to like them. A bad bitch wants to walk in the room and be like, oh yeah, you know, they like me, they want me, get mad whenever whatever the baller in the room don't like them. A boss bitch is like, okay, whatever. I know my worth, and whoever talks to me is gonna know that. They're gonna understand that, you know? And a boss bitch doesn't need to vouch for herself. She doesn't need to go on the internet and talk about, I'm the best, I'm better than your ex, I'm da-da-da-da, I hustle. They let that shit be seen. You know, they let other people talk for it and be like, yo, blah, 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 puts in the work, especially as a female. And that's an amazing thing, too, is you got to be proud of that. Being a woman in general is something you should be proud of, because we got a hard knock life out here. It is not easy. And there is a select few of women who represent us as whole women. And that's just being like, you know, kind. That's being nurturing. That's also, you know, taking charge, taking control of it, because it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. And that's factual, because one, they would not be here without us. And our compassion, nurturing, love, and just an energy, that feminine, any type of feminine energy, the type that what it brings into a room, and what it can create for so many businesses. And that's why so many, like, I feel like so many businesses in certain aspects could fail, because men are too scared to hear a woman's opinion. Men are too scared because women are so emotional. Women are da-da-dee-da, this and that, you know? And a bad bitch may be like that, honestly. They're very based off of their emotions. Very, like, not very level-headed is what I'm trying to say, you know? A boss bitch, that's not a problem. Very level-headed, you know, they got their head on their shoulders. They know what they want. They know what they need. They know where they want to go. You can't fold. That's the ultimate thing, you know. I can't walk into a room and see someone with a stack and think, wow, I want to get with them. You know, I want to go home with them tonight. What's going on up here? What's your mentality? You know, we're just talking dollars. And it's so crazy too, because a bad bitch will go and complain about how a dude treated her because she threw herself at them because they just have money, and they expect them to just love them because of their sex appeal, or to be with them because of their sex appeal. Well, I offer enough. I don't, oh my gosh, like, the sex isn't good. You don't like it? Like, this, I think this is good enough. That's it. That's all I have to offer. I'm not gonna, you know, go out and get a job and do something for you. You pay for me and I just sit here and I offer you kitschy. That's it. Who wants that? Nobody. You know? Nobody wants that. And that's why, like, so boss bitches are so intimidating, and nobody really knows about them, you know? Nobody really knows how real they are to the core, because they don't need to express that to everyone. You have to be select with who touches you, who gets to know you, and who gets to see you. You know, you can't be, you know, seen everywhere, like every single weekend, going to like little events. You know your value, you know? You don't pop up at every single event or something, you know? You don't pop out at every single club, or it's just like you don't take every single money opportunity, because you're worth more than that, you know? Bad bitch is just gonna chase after it as long as it's got paper. That's it, you know? Boss bitch is gonna realize when to dictate what's going on here. Like, yeah, the revenue is good, profits alright, you know, but it's not something I want to put myself in, you know? And a bad bitch will go against her morals, and a boss bitch won't. A boss bitch will stand on that shit, you know? Like, I said no. I don't like that. No, I'm okay. Setting boundaries, you know, backing up. And it's hard as a woman. Men will try and press up on you in any aspect in life. And they'll try and make you feel less than yourself. They'll try and dim you down. Someone's always going to dim down your light. And that's the part that's really hard, is it takes a different type of mentality to be a bad bitch, or to be a boss bitch. Bad bitch, there's no mentality. You cute. You can rock it. You can move your ass and all that stuff and look cute and have a pretty face, whatever. It works out wonderfully. But to be a bad bitch, or to be a boss bitch, you know, you gotta sit in front of people that are telling you what you know that you are, you know, but they're telling you opposite. They're like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. you know, and you don't take nobody's shit for that. You believe in yourself, and you don't need to fall back on a man. You don't need anything to fall back on. You know, you can get out and get it on your own. There's no struggle. There's no question about that. Nothing within yourself are you going to sit there and question. You got to love yourself. Half the time, bad bitches don't even love themselves. They need someone else to love them, so they throw themselves out there. They make themselves just look pretty. They don't think that they're worth having abundance, motivation, and they don't think that they're worth putting in the hustle for anything because they don't see it within themselves. And that's what makes it really hard. Is so many boss bitches could be bad bitches, but they don't want to. They just want to be the pretty girl who has her toes done and their nails done, you know? And that's not to say you can't be a boss bitch and do that, but that's all they want to do. And they want to sit on their ass and get everything paid for. Boss bitch is going to put in the time, is going to put in the work, and understand that not only beauty hurts, but hustle hurts. Being motivated hurts. Putting in the work hurts. Because you got to miss out on everything, you know? Bad bitch wants to go out every weekend and go party at the clubs and drink and get their drinks paid for. Boss bitch is going to be sitting down by 8 o'clock, you know, on their computer filling out paperwork for the next day of whatever job that they got to do. You know, a boss bitch is going to know when, like, it's time to, you know, throw in the towel, when it's time to put the work in. And, you know, like I said, the most important thing is standard. I see so many bad bitches who could be boss bitches, but they don't set themselves at a certain standard. They put themselves, like, so much lower, and they compare themselves. You can't compare yourself to anybody as a boss bitch. You want to see everybody win. You know, the next female who has something, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm better than her. It's like, dang, like, she's really on her shit. You know, you want to motivate each other. And it's so hard today and age. Like, I see why so many girls, like, rock alone, and I see why so many girls do the dirty stuff that they do, and there's just so much animosity, and I get that. But women don't know how to communicate to each other without going at it, you know, a little cat fight going. They don't know. Not a lot of women. And I'm thankful to have met women that I can sit down and keep it real with and not question anything about our loyalty. We may argue right now, but tomorrow we'll be good, you know. But I've just seen so many friendships fail all because one doesn't want to put in, you know, the work for something. And whenever you have, like, a friendship where you're a boss and there's a bad bitch, you know, and we've all had a friend, you know, where she's just, they don't want to really do anything else. They just want to sit there and look pretty. They don't put in the work for anything, think everyone owes them something, got a badass attitude, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, you may be the friend, you're like, all right, kind of want to go further in life. You know, like, I don't just want to sit here and be pretty all day. Like, I have ambitions. I have things I want to do. It's just like being in a relationship. Being in a relationship with a bad bitch is so afflicting because you're like, wow, this woman is beautiful, but fuck, she doesn't put the work in to have anything in life. She just thinks that that's all that matters is her beauty. And I get that. Beauty is everything, but soul is everything. Mentality is everything. Your mental is everything. You can't be a hating female out here. You got to show love. You got to give love. We're nurturing. We're feminine. It's what's meant to happen. And that's not to say every female is feminine. You know, there's masculine and everything like that, but it's just, you got to realize that, like, it's all love, and us as women, we have to stick together, you know. And you got to know the difference, because sometimes you got to cut people off, you know. Like I said, I see a lot of boss bitches hanging out with bad bitches, and it's like, man, what are they, you know, they're mooching off of you, they're mooching off of your energy, you know. They support you every once in a while, you know. If I'm talking to any boss bitches out there, realize that you just gotta rock alone. That's one of the hardest things that I've had to learn. One of the hardest things I had to learn was to walk away from certain relationships, certain friendships, stop talking to certain people because it's like, dang, like, they're really not on my level, or there might be animosity. And that's really just what, like, a bad bitch isn't that much of a compliment. Like, I don't even really like being called that. You know, when people are like, damn, you're bad. Like, yeah, I'm beautiful. You know, I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I think I'm pretty, you know. Bad, I don't know. It's just, it's not a good, like, my sister actually told me that a while ago. Someone called me bad one time. She was like, I don't like when people call you bad. And I was like, why? She's like, I don't know. It's just not a good word. And then I see where she comes from, because it's like, you know, when someone's like, damn, bro, like, she's bad. That's all she is. That's all a bad bitch is just, she's just bad. Just like, okay, how's her? I don't know. Just, she's got a nice rack. She got a nice tummy. You know, she's pretty. Got a nice face. But once again, these women won't have anything else to offer to the table. And it's so crazy to me, because men will be like, oh, like, you know, why did she do this to me? Da, da, da. Like, you know, she has this mentality. It's like, because you just went for her sex appeal. You never went to sit down and ask her, like, hey, you know, what ambitions do you have in life? What goals do you have in life? Well, I don't know. You know, there might be 25. And I'm not talking like a young bad bitch. You know, whenever you're young, you are really, you know, you don't really know what you want in life. You're getting there. There's like a certain age, you know, where you hit and it's like, okay, lady, what are we doing with life here? That's why I mentioned the industry, you know, because bitches are bad and you know, they're like, I'm the pretty, you know, I make the most money in here and stuff. And it's like, you know, you ask them like, okay, so how much money have you saved in your retirement? Well, I bought myself a Benz. I have about 4 Dior's, you know, purses, got some Coach purses, Chanel, you know, I got this perfume, I got this jewelry, this much jewelry. You know, I live in this apartment that I'm struggling to pay for. But hey, I'm living the bad life, you know? But when it came down to it, if you weren't in the entertainment business, what are you going to do? And if you are, how are you doing it to set yourself up in life? You know, and that's like one of the hardest things, too, about being a boss is you got to be disciplined. And, you know, you can't be like... Every girl wants to be the girl that whenever you walk into a room, everyone stares at you. But a boss bitch is going to understand that not everyone's going to realize your value. So you have to put that out there. And a bad bitch isn't going to stick to really their morals. You know, as long as they're the prettiest, who gives a fuck what they think? You know, who gives a hell if my mentality is this way? You know, there's so many pretty girls that get addicted to drugs because they got into peer pressure. Because they want to be the baddest bitch in the room. They want to be the pick-me. They want those dudes to know that they popped a perk. You know, they want them to know that they, whatever they might have done. Xans, bars, whatever, you know. Weed, who cares about that? But when it gets, like, deeper into hard drugs, there's so many girls where I'm like, dang, like, you really went down the wrong path all because you wanted to fit in? All because you wanted to be the baddest in the room? All because you want to be a pick-me? Nah, it can't be like that. The boss bitch will look, first of all, into that room and be like, yeah, this is not the place that I need to be. But also, if they're in that room, they're able to stand their ground and say no. Oh, you're lame. You know how many dudes and other people come with, you're lame, just do it, nah, whatever. Cool, you don't want to talk to me no more. Cool, you don't want to dance for me if you're in the club. Cool, you don't want to be my friend anymore because I won't take up on this opportunity, you know? Or I won't do the certain thing that you want to do. Cool, whatever, that don't matter. It's about standing your ground. So at the end of the day, I don't think really, like I said, bad bitch has been watered down. Boss bitch has, though. A lot of people look at a lot of women who deserve a lot more value, you know. A lot of women just get looked at and they are just pretty, but it goes deeper than that. And like today and age, they don't know how to differentiate that, you know, like it'd be a surprise, you know. People will talk to me and they're like, wow, like she's so pretty. And then I have a conversation with them, they're like, damn, you know. Not only that, she got brains on her. Wow, you know. But then you sit down with some pretty girls, and they're like, yeah. Are you giving me money or what? Nobody wants that. You know, someone wants a woman who is also beautiful and intelligent and can talk to them. They can talk about something. They have interest in, not just like smoking and kicking it with these rappers or this person, this man who has money, this who has money, you know. And there's just more to them, and it's a lot deeper than that. But it's not for everyone to understand. That's not for every female to get. And like I said, it's a certain mentality. And it's not something, just like keeping it P. To keep it pushing, to keep it player, to do all that's not on you. It's in you, you know? So it ain't meant for everybody. Not every pretty face is meant to start a business. Not every pretty face is meant to represent like feminine women. Not every pretty face is meant to go and be successful in life. But those pretty faces, those pretty minds, those pretty souls, they're gonna go far in life. And you gotta figure out where you wanna be. I'm 20 years old and I know what I am and I know what's within me, you know? And there's some women who are 26 years old and they don't know what's in them or what they're worth. And that's so sad. That's why I mentioned like being in the industry for so long, they don't realize that at a certain point that's gonna stop. The sex appeal is gonna go away, you know? At some point, you know, that stuff's gonna get tiring, you know? You're not gonna wanna do that. And if you do, you do. But I just think that a boss bitch like thinks better of themselves and knows that they can go further and knows that this is just to start. Like that's like the main thing. They just start and they build up their money and they get out. Everyone always talks about getting out the game early. It's just like getting out the streets for a guy. Literally, it's just like getting out the streets for a man. You don't want to be 30 years old still running in the streets. Who wants that? You know, I'm not telling you gotta go work a 9 to 5, but figure out something else that works better for you. You know, something that offers like more opportunity. See something within yourself that nobody sees, and only a boss bitch is gonna see that, because a boss bitch will understand that as a woman, we get overlooked every day. Our ideas, our mindsets, and our beauty. Because all anyone cares about is just a pretty girl sitting down. No one wants to sit down with a pretty girl and ask her how her day was. No one wants to sit down with a pretty girl and ask her why she is the way that she is. No one wants to sit down with a pretty girl and think that she's not just pretty, that she might have the smarts. Bad bitches get it easy. Boss bitches don't. Because we gotta prove ourselves every single day. Not just a pretty face, you know? And it sucks because boss bitch will prove herself that way, and she'll be in a business meeting, or, you know, you'll talk to some people and they're like, man, you know, all I care about is how pretty you are. That's it. Doesn't go deeper. That's why, like, so many boss bitches get played, you know, and bad bitches get played too, but honestly, y'all kind of set yourself up for it. You just want to be pretty. You just want to have the sex appeal. A boss bitch wants to build and grow and just wants someone else to see their worth, and because they see their own. But it's hard whenever you go out into the world. It's like, man, I know my worth, but everyone's just looking at you like, you're just a pretty face, you're just a pretty face. It's like, man, I got so much going on up here and so much in here that nobody knows about, because today's society has watered down boss bitch and just thinks that you just got to be pretty to be a boss. No, it takes so much more than that. It takes effort. It takes ambition. And to keep it real with y'all, it takes a lot of gut, you know. It takes a lot of standing in the faces of people who talk shit about you. You know, you got to play both sides of the fence at some point. You got to stand in the face of people who have so much animosity for you, and you know it, but you're not going to do nothing about it. You're just going to let them sit there, and you're going to let them watch. You know, you're going to let someone see you go far. It takes a lot, because you got to say no to a lot of stuff. You got to set down a rule. You got to set down a certain, like, boundary, literally. And so many women don't have boundaries. They'll do anything for $100. They'll do anything for $20. And that's sad. Boss bitch is going to realize their worth and not take every money opportunity and run with it, because it's not their worth. And I see so many pretty women put themselves in positions, you know. We got pimps coming up in the club. We got things happen up in the club. And there's these beautiful women that I look at, I'm like, wow, you're so, so beautiful. But the things that you would do for $100 is kind of insane. And it's just realizing your worth. That is not to judge. I'm just saying, I think there's so many beautiful women who they set their prices so low because they want to listen to other people's opinions, because they want to listen to the next motherfucker. And they're like, oh, well, so-and-so didn't want it, so I'm going to lower my prices. So-and-so, so I'm going to do this for this much. Like, no. As a woman, that's always going to happen. And you got to understand that you have to look masculine energy in the eye and be like, I'm top dog in here. You have that mentality, you know? Bad bitches will have that mentality, but they won't prove it. You know, they're just like, I'm the best in here. Okay, so you're the best because you're the prettiest? You're not the best because you can't spit out, not even just like a business idea. You can't sit down and have just a regular conversation, you know, without being obnoxious, without just focusing on yourself, without being self-centered. You can't consider someone else's feelings and emotions for like 5 seconds. You can't understand that there's more to life than just smoking and drinking and kicking it with your homegirls. You can understand that to put in work in life and to get anywhere in life and be respected, you gotta respect yourself. Bad bitch doesn't understand that at all. But all my boss bitches, keep running the game up. Keep doing everything that you're doing. Keep standing in the face of men and telling them like, hey, I got the goods, you know, and I don't just got the goods. I got the goods. And you got to pay attention to that. And always represent that. Never change that, ever. Don't ever think like just because another female comes in and has this opportunity for herself, great, cool, let them go, you know. Don't ever think you have to lower your prices because of somebody else or because of what someone else says or competition or anything like that. If you're a boss bitch, you'll stand on your ground. You got to understand too, though, not everyone can eat here. That's the most important thing. Mentality is everything. You can continue to be a boss bitch, but you can't whine your way to the top. Can't suck your way to the top. Can't throw yourself at everyone your way to the top. And you can't lose respect for yourself on the way to the top. But a real boss bitch is gonna understand that this shit's not easy. A real boss bitch is gonna understand this shit takes time. And it's gonna be a lot of work. So don't give up. No matter what. I don't care who stands in your face. I don't care if there's any masculine energy. I don't care what battles you gotta face. You gotta represent for the women because we have so much to prove. Us as women, we have to stick together. no matter what, because it's important. It's important for us to understand that we have been overlooked for centuries, for a very, very long time. Women have been disrespected, walked over, manipulated, everything. Everything that you could think of, you know, it's happened to us. And now is a time to prove ourselves. Women are taking over the industries in every aspect of y'all. Like, so many women are breaking the internet. So many women are just in today's, like, the things that women are learning. Cars, women are getting into cars. Creators, like, it's mostly women. You know, there's women inventing things, or like creating things and creating atmospheres for people. I mean, like, one of the best things I love to see is just, like, you know, female doctors, you know, female real estate agents, you know, females who, you know, are building their own businesses from the ground up, you know, no help, no back burner, nothing else, just started from nothing. And they keep going, waking up every single day. You know, we go through a lot as women, and the universe or the world puts a lot on our shoulders because, hey, you're supposed to be the nurturers. You're supposed to take care of it. You're supposed to understand everything. A boss bitches ain't gonna fold under that pressure and give up and think like, ugh, all right, I've already got so much pressure. I wish I could just sit here and be a pretty face. That's all I could offer. But no, I gotta put in this work. I got something to prove. I got people to stand in front of, you know. I want to see my name up in shining lights, and I want it to be more than just my face. You know, I want it to be my mentality. You know, a boss bitch wants to be talked about like, man, her mind is so far beyond herself, and the ideas that she puts together, how she articulates it, her heart, her soul, everything like that is beautiful. You know, you don't want to just be known as a pretty face. So if you're putting in that work to put yourself on a certain level and put yourself in a different tax bracket, and day in and day out you're putting in that work, you're missing out on parties, you know, you're missing out on time with your girls, you're missing out on kicking it with whomever, you know, you're focusing on you. Keep doing that. Not a lot of women are out here. And whether you work a 9 to 5 or not, don't ever think because you don't work a 9 to 5 that you're lower than anyone. And don't think that if you don't work a 9 to 5 that you're lower than anybody, because you aren't. 9 to 5, sex worker, it don't matter. That goes from one scale to the other. You either work a 9 to 5, worst it goes is a sex worker. Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it. Keep doing what you're doing and keep hustling. Continue to hustle your mindset. Don't ever give up. And at the end of it, understand if it's in you. By now, I think you should. I think like everyone should know by like the age of like 23. I feel like 23, 25, what you're gonna do in life. So if you don't know, if you're 23, between 23 and 25, and you don't know if you're a bad bitch or a boss bitch, I'm gonna need you to get it down now. I'm gonna need you to figure it out because we gotta fuck up the game and change it. But until the next episode, y'all, I hope that you guys enjoy this one, enjoy the conversation. Keep giving feedback and keep communicating with me. You guys can always go to my Instagram at YoGirlKey or my Twitter at Black Widow with 2 W's at the end. I believe. Some of you tell me that's right and wrong, but we'll figure it out in the next episode, won't we? Till next time, guys.